have the Ipsy Boxycharm for the month of March. I call it base box, but I know now it's the Boxycharm by Ipsy. Whatever you want to call it, it is the medium box. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe. I do perfume, fashion, beauty, mom videos, a little bit of everything on this channel, so I would love to have you subscribe. You can share, like, comment if you want to help me, and my socials are down below, but let's get into it. I will have timestamps down below if you're looking for something particular. First, we're going to unbox the box and see what is in here and talk about each one of the products. First up is the First Aid Beauty Pure Skin Face Cleanser. I've talked about First Aid Beauty previously. I really like their skincare. There are a ton of brands nowadays, so I feel like I've tried the majority of them, and some things in the brand I like and other things that like don't work for me. For First Aid Beauty, I feel like the majority of their stuff works for me. I will say that I have tried this cleanser before, and this is just like an everyday cleanser. It helps remove makeup, dirt, impurities. It's like a cream cleanser. It's not targeted to a specific like thing like acne or aging or anything like that. So this is just good if you just want a good skin cleanser, you know, like not anything over the top or anything that has like any targeted ingredients or anything like that. I think that one of the reasons that they have the safe for sensitive skin on a lot of their stuff is because of that, because it doesn't have like too many ingredients or like active ingredients as well. But next thing is that I was super excited when I saw this in here. Fenty Beauty. This is the brand new Fenty Cheeks. This is a suede powder, and so it's kind of like not too matte but not too shimmery. It's kind of like an in-between. It's actually what I have on my cheeks today, and this is called a Petal Poppin'. So the shape kind of took me for a loop because I was like, wait, what shape is this? And it is a parallelogram. You guys will see. I admit to you guys, I had to look it up because homegirl did not remember what it was called. This way it's kind of like a diamond shape, but this way it's actually a parallelogram. And it's really, really cute. When I first saw the shade, I was like, damn, that's in your face. But it does go on softly. You can build it up, but it's an absolutely beautiful finish on the skin. So absolutely gorgeous. They did a really great job with these. And I love the fact that it's not way too shimmery. I feel like the Rare Beauty ones, the luminous ones, were a little bit over the top, where like just you know, if you have pores or texture, it's really gonna show. With this one, I feel like it's a little bit better as far as showing the texture. You could still see a little bit of my texture here on the cheek. I do have a highlight on top of that, but even down here you can see that it does kind of accentuate that. So that's just something to watch out for with this, that any kind of shimmer is usually going to bring out a lot of texture on your skin or pores. So you want to be a little bit more light-handed when applying if you have those issues, or maybe just give it to someone. Next is what I have on my lips. This is by Meli Beauty. They have been using this brand. I've seen, like, I have a spray from them that was previous from one of the boxes. So I'm not sure if they're just, you know, it seems like a brand that they're working with now. But Meli Beauty, this is a lip balm butter. It feels really, really nice on the lips. And I love the little, like, what is that called? The little applicator tube. It's really comfortable to apply. It has a little bit of shimmer, but it's basically like a clear lip balm, and it feels really buttery and hydrating on the lips. Next, so we have something that I was a little disappointed in. When I first opened the box and saw this, I was like, oh my God, a beautiful spring palette. This by Laura Geller, the box, it did to me what Pat McGrath does. Pat McGrath posts on her Instagram like all this inspo and gets me so hyped up, and then she releases basically like a neutral palette with like one pop of like one special shade or something, and I'm just like, okay. So I feel like this was similar. When I saw the box, I was like, oh my God, beautiful pastels, beautiful like these spring colors. And then I saw the back of the box. It's basically a nude palette with two purples in it. So this is what it looks like. Packaging is really, really beautiful. I would have liked it to correlate, you know, like the packaging to the inside, but this is basically what it is. It's a neutral palette, and then we have two very light purples up there. I don't really like the fact, and I talk about this in the try on portion, I don't really care for this layout as far as palettes go. I am not a fan of eyeshadows mixed with like cheek products. That is like to each their own, but I would have preferred it to be just like that, not with like this separate. But I do have this highlight on my cheeks, and it's very, very beautiful. The shadows you guys will see in the try on portion. I did this eye look with it, and you guys will see kind of what I went through there. So I'm kind of like iffy on the palette. And then the last thing in here is the Origins Ginseng Brightening Eye Cream. At first when I saw it, I was like, oh God, because I got the shade Warm, which seems like a very dark shade, but it's actually very light. I really liked Origins. Origins was another one that I used for quite some time. I remember buying like one of their brightening lines and really enjoyed their skincare. I haven't bought skincare myself because I get sent so much skincare, which is it's a not a bad problem to have, but I don't like hoarding stuff, so I like to use what I have, and because of that I haven't bought stuff in a long time, but I really enjoyed Origins. And this one in Warm is not that dark, so that's what it looks like right there. It is good for probably light to medium skin tones. I don't know if they have a shade darker than this, so I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure they have one lighter than this, but I hopefully they have one shade up from this for darker skin tones. But this was really nice. You guys will see it in the try on portion and see kind of like the effect that it gives my eyes. And talking about the try on portion, we're going to jump into that now. Portion, the first thing I'm going to try is this right here, and then I'll do my makeup and come back and do the other products. So this is by Origins. It says Brightening Eye Cream, and it's supposed to be an illuminating one. I got the shade Warm. I'm a little scared because that looks very dark. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what this looks like. So I'm thinking that they have other shades available. We'll see what this looks like. Huh, it doesn't look that dark. Let's apply it underneath my eyes and see what it looks like. I feel like it's supposed to be kind of like a color corrector. I don't know if I'm applying too much though. Let's go ahead and apply some. It feels like an eye cream. It's very watery. So I feel like this would wear really nicely underneath concealer because it's a thin consistency. It's not too thick. Okay, so now it's completely dried. Let me know if you guys see the difference. This is without and this is with. I feel like I see a little bit of difference. I feel like it looks a little bit more luminous. It kind of conceals just a tad bit. I think that this would work really good underneath concealer, or even on those days where you don't wear makeup and you wear it by itself. So really nice. I really love Origins. I have used in the past a lot of their skincare, and it's really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my face makeup and come back and we can play around with the other products. I have my foundation on. I put a little bit of bronzer, and then now we're gonna try this Fenty blush right here. This is called the Fenty Cheeks. It's a suede powder blush, and the shade I got was Petal Poppin' number 2. It's supposed to be a high impact color, ultra smooth texture, lightweight formula with a diffused finish. And I had to look up this shape because I was like, I know this way it's like a diamond, but I know that this had a name and it's a parallelogram. I was like, ugh, my brain just could not function. But I do like that it has the color here in the front, so you know what shade is in here. And then let's just open it up. Okay, so we have our little paper here. Oh my God, this looks so in your face, like a really bright coral. Let me go ahead and swatch it. Yeah, that feels super silky smooth. It kind of has like a shimmer aspect to it, but now that I'm swatching it on my hands, it doesn't look as bright when I swatch it, so we shall see. But it's kind of giving me like the Rare Beauty kind of vibes to it, where it's like, you know, a little bit more diffuse, a little bit not as pigmented, so we shall see. I'm just gonna go in lightly first. just a tad bit on my brush. Let me get a little bit excess off just in case. And let's try here on my cheeks. Yeah, this looks very buildable. So go in with a light hand and then build it up. But I do like that it has kind of like a shimmer to it, because I do like a little bit more of, you know, like that more glowy aspect to it. Look how beautiful that is. So even though it looks scary in the pan, I feel like it looks very beautiful in person. It looks very soft. You could build this up to a very, you know, very pigmented cheek, but I think that that's just enough for me. So really, really cute. I do like the formula. I like kind of like that glow aspect to it. And then next, okay, my wig's going a little crazy. Next, we're gonna try the Laura Geller Candy Cravings. When I first saw this, I thought that these shades out here were gonna be on the inside, and I was a little let down once I saw the back of the box. This is basically a neutral palette with 2 purples in it. I will be trying it just for review purpose here on the channel, but I do think that I'm going to give this to my mom or a cousin, because I know I have way too many neutral palettes and this is just more redundant. And for someone who has 200 palettes, this is just, you know. And another thing is, I don't really care for palettes. I don't know if this is just me, but I don't really care for palettes that have blush and highlighters. I tend not to use them. And so I would have preferred like this type of palette right here, just kind of like the Anastasia Beverly Hills type of format, and not have those in there and them sell that separately. Let me know if anyone else is like me, where you don't, like I don't, like if I was gonna use this blush and highlight, it would only be when I open this palette to use it for my eyes. And so that's always been a quirk of mine. I rather have my blushes, bronzers separately and my eyeshadow palettes separately. I don't really care for buying this type of joint kind of combination. Anyway, let me shut up. Okay, so let's go ahead and do just, I don't know, I guess a neutral look. I'll try to do a, what's it called? I'm gonna do a halo eye. So I'm gonna go in with caramel first and use that as kind of like my little base on each side. And these are really nice eyeshadows. Oh God, I forgot what eye I was on. But I don't know, I just have so much of the same. I think my mom would really like these because these blend really nicely. They're really soft and smooth. So if you're somebody who has a lot of neutral palettes, if you're a makeup junkie and you have way too many neutral palettes, I think this would be something good to gift to somebody. I want to use it in the try on portion. There was times that I try not to use stuff because of that, because I feel like I'm wasting. So I try to, if I know I'm going to give it to somebody who can use it, and like my mom, I don't mind trying it out on myself for you guys. But sometimes I feel guilty about doing try-ons and knowing that this might die in my collection. Okay, now that I did both sides, I am gonna go in with a tad bit of a darker shade. So I'm going in with this toffee shade and just working that on the outer edge. See if you can see a difference there. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a little too light. Okay, I might have to add in another shade because this toffee one is not showing up as good as I thought next to the caramel. We shall see if I can build it up. Or I might just touch toffee and licorice. But overall, this is a nice palette. It's just, I have so much. So I'd rather give it to someone who's really gonna give it good use, and I know my mom will do that. Okay, so I'm just wiping this on a towel, getting all that off, and then I'm going back in with the caramel. Okay, and I'm gonna get a brush that has nothing on it and see if I can blend. I just feel like this looks so muddy. I'm not a fan of the way this is looking. Oh God, this looks bad. And I don't know if it's the formula or user error, but I feel like that caramel next to the toffee and licorice are not blending as nice as I would want it to. Oh God, why does it look like that? That looks funky. Oh no. I'm just connecting everything and blending, seeing if it looks a little better. I don't know why it looks super dry on the eye and does not look nice. The only thing that's gonna savage this or like help it is gonna be one of these shimmers. So I'm gonna go in with white chocolate. And I feel like these all look very similar if you look at this. Like all three of those shimmers look very similar. So I'm gonna go in with white chocolate and apply that down the center here with my finger. This is, I don't know. Today is not, I'm having issues today, but you know, we all have those days. I even have days where I've started doing my makeup and I hate the way it looks and I'll just go to work with no makeup because I'll just get pissed off and be like, you know what, I'm done. I don't have time for this. Well, let me just wipe this off and put some moisturizer on. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Hopefully lashes will make it look a little better. But I don't know about this formula. Now with the shimmer, it looks better, but I felt like the caramel looked super dry on my lids. I don't know if it's the way it's attaching to the primer, what it is, but not a fan. And for my highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and use this highlight right here, this gummy bear. And then I'll do the rest of my makeup off camera for you guys. But I don't know that. Okay, that's a pretty shimmer right there. So that's a beautiful highlight right there. I don't know about this palette. I would have to give it another go, but I did feel like I had quite a few issues. It could be the primer. I don't just go based on first impressions because of the fact that a lot of times it could be your primer. It could be just the way you kind of blended stuff together. You know, sometimes a palette will look muddy and then I'll use it again and absolutely love it. And I have used Laura Geller in the past and really enjoyed her palettes. So I know that they're usually very blendable and soft. I feel like my mom would get really good use of this. Now that it's like blended all together, I feel like it looks way better. But before I do my other eye off camera, there is a lip balm butter by Misho Beauty. And this is what it looks like. And oh, it's like a beautiful like pearlescent color. So I am gonna apply this. I like the lip applicator. It's really comfy. I love when it like hugs your lips like that. And it has like a caramelly smell to it, which is really nice. So that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like the shade. Like in here, it looks like a corally shade. Once I apply it on my lips, I don't feel like it's pigmented. But it does say that it's a lip balm butter, so I'm thinking that it's mainly for the hydration to the lips. It doesn't really say anything around here at all. Yeah. It doesn't say anything at all here, so I'm not sure. But lip balms are usually for hydrating your lips, so that's what I think this is for. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and we'll come back to our final thoughts. And here is the final look with lashes and the whole 9 yards. Overall, once I have the lashes on and everything, I feel like it came together. I would have to give this another go, but I do feel like my mom will get a lot of good use from this. She does more simple looks, so I don't feel like she'll have an issue when it comes to like the blending or anything like that. They are very velvety and soft. The shimmers really do pop, as you can see the one in the middle of my eyelid. Overall, it's a nice palette, especially if you don't mind like having cheek products in there. It's pretty. I just kind of wish that this whole theme was what was in the palette itself. I think that would have really like caught more. I do get that Laura Geller is more what's it called, like a brand that I feel like they have a certain following to it, and a lot of those people like more of that natural type of look. So I kind of get where they're coming from with the palettes, and probably like their audience or target audience of people who buy from them. So I totally get that. Overall, I have to say I really love this box. Even with the Laura Geller palette, I feel like if I got this as a consumer, I would be happy, because anytime there's a palette, I'm always happy. Like I have like 200 palettes in my collection. At one point I had way more than that. So I love a good palette. I love trying a good brand. I love the fact that they have Laura Geller, Fenty. Even this lip balm kind of took me for a spin, because I was like, I'm not gonna try it. And then once I tried it, I really like it. I feel like I would use this a lot, especially when it's cold outside or under like matte lipsticks or on top of a lipstick. I love the fact that this is like a plastic here, so then I would be able to apply it on top of a lipstick and then wipe it off and nothing be affected on the inside of this. So that is a win. And then of course the Origins, I will continuously use this and see how I like it underneath concealer. I feel like it looks really nice today underneath my concealer. It's thin enough where it dries down and won't mess with your concealer. Sometimes things are a little bit way too hydrating, and that can be an issue, but I feel like this is nice. I wish it had just a tiny bit more coverage, but overall nice for underneath the eyes. So let me know which product you picked, what you think about these here. Is this a win for you? Or are you like disappointed in the box? I'd love to hear from you down below. Thank you guys so much for your support, for watching, for subscribing. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe. And I have my socials down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.